Mates, Plates, Talking Pink. Follow us on all social sites. Chia on Twitter, Pink. On Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Donate to our Patreon.
There you go.
Fucking donate, okay? Stop fucking inboxing bitches and fucking subscribe and fucking donate. You want to make? Fucking donate, okay? So we can get this pussy.
Hi, we're back live. We had a little technical difficulties, but we're back. So we ended, I was asking you, because you're pregnant.
Okay.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I asked you, how do you feel about being pregnant? Because I had a flood of emotions with both of my, I've been pregnant 3 times, but with my 2 live births, they were different pregnancies completely. So how do you feel about being pregnant this time?
Okay, this time is difficult.
Okay.
It's so much. I'm so moody.
Okay.
I'm such a bitch.
Okay.
Feel like that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Because my first pregnancy, I was happy. Maybe because I had my mom around that time. And otherwise than that, like I don't have my mom, so I'm angry all the time. Like that's because she used to go to my doctor's appointments with me. So I'm going to the doctor's appointments. I have my best friend going with me, but it's not the same.
Right.
Because me and my mom used to joke. The way I talk, that's I got from my mama.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though she's a Christian, but you know, she was the Christian way of.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else,
Okay.
but I know it's just different. It's just so different. I feel like I'm having a girl.
Because you're so emotional and moody.
Yeah, and I'm a bitch.
Did
so
you
I'm
feel
like,
that?
oh,
Did you
What is
feel
that?
that?
How does
Did
that
you-
determine?
Were you emotional? Were you extremely emotional?
I wasn't emotional.
I was. I remember had an episode where I was crying because I couldn't wear any of my clothes. So I sat in the middle on the floor of my closet and just cried. I can't fit anything. So I did, and then I got sick, and then
I'm sick now.
there was a lot of sickness, a lot of dry heaving. Coronavirus.
No. I want to tell a joke on that one, but okay, continue.
But yeah, I was emotional. That was the first pregnancy. The second one was easy. It felt
Really?
easier.
Mine was the opposite.
I didn't even know I was pregnant.
See, the first one wasn't planned. You know, we was like, well, it was kind of planned, but it wasn't planned because I didn't think I could get pregnant.
Right.
Because that's what my doctor said. Oh, you can't get
My
pregnant.
doctor lied to me like that too.
You can't get pregnant. So I'm like, oh, you can go. Oh, you lie. I'm
That's
sorry.
what I said.
I can't get pregnant.
Go ahead.
And then my,
Come in.
and then we was like, okay, we're going to go to the clinic and get the IVF and everything. But before we went there, that's when I found out I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And I remember when I found out I was pregnant the first time, I went in the restaurant, peed on the stick, and then, you know, I came back home. I was crying. He was like, what's wrong with you? I said, you love me? He was like, yeah, what's wrong? You going to leave me if I tell you what's about to happen? He was like, what you mean? I'm pregnant. And he turned, it's mine? Yeah, it's yours. It is yours.
Oh my God.
He was like, I'm just saying, you know, you said you can't get pregnant, you know. I was like,
Oh my God.
the second one wasn't planned for me. It was planned for him. He
Okay.
wanted another one.
Okay.
Because back
That's
in November,
interesting.
he was like, oh, she pregnant. I'm like, stop telling people that because if it happened, you know, I'm carrying the next one on my income tax. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Speaking of income tax.
How you get the hookup on the income tax?
exactly. Have babies. That's what I'm saying.
That don't always work.
Let me
My
claim-
brother
let me
got 10
claim your
kids,
child.
and, you know.
Oh,
Ten.
Does he
10.
take care of them all?
Yes, it's all about the same woman.
On purpose?
And then with the
I
last
thought they
one.
didn't do that since 1942.
First of all, I just want to say that is so wrong.
On purpose?
No.
Oh, by the same woman?
What if people, if there are some caring men out there who really are responsible for their kids and stuff, and the fact that she has to come back and say, because he's African American, right? She has to say, and it's with the same one.
Because we know.
We do know. It
It
doesn't
be
happen in our
10
communities
by
like
5
that.
different ones.
Listen.
And his wife just got fixed, so thank God. But he was upset. He was
She got
really
an
mad
IUD
at her.
or she got a tube?
Yes. He was really upset. He was like, man, you know, God say multiply. I'm like, damn,
Oh
nigga, you
my
can't
God.
do all that times.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I
my
love
mouth
this
is
man.
bad. But
You're fine. You're fine.
But I'm
But
just,
it's extremely hard to take care of kids.
and the
these
oldest
days.
one he just turned 13, so it's 13 to 7 months.
That's very
So-
hard. It's extremely hard to take care
I'm
of
sorry
that
to
many.
pry, but did he tell you why? Did she decide to, get her? What, she got her tubes tied, or she got an IUD? What did she do?
She just got her tubes, all that removed, like cut, burn, all that stuff. Like,
So did she decide to do that without him?
they talked about it, he disagreed, but she was like, I want to start my career. It's time for me.
After 10 kids,
Yeah.
Well, she got some helpers.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because somebody was asking this in the FaceTime, not FaceTime, the Facebook Live, since we're talking about birth and stuff. I can't express my opinion with respect to Planned Parenthood because I'm a judicial candidate. But I wanted to ask you, as a mom,
no,
what do you know? What do you know about Planned Parenthood? What do you think about it?
Well, throw me at the bus, huh?
Well, I'm kind of curious because a lot of us, like Rachel earlier and Nikita, you all were saying that you're not actively involved in politics,
Right.
So the Planned Parenthood organization
Right.
wanted to see what's your take on it.
So-
What do you
You're
know?
talking about
What
like
is
abortions
Planned-
and
right,
stuff?
right.
It's talking about
So
abortion.
what? Just
I'll put it like
abortions?
this. Put it like this. It's a woman. It's the woman's body. I can't
it's
say
her
I'm
choice.
against it. I'm
Right.
not gonna say I'm against it,
Right.
whatever. Because I feel, say you rape whatever, and you're gonna be looking at your rapist child for the rest of your life, even though you're supposed to love a child. But I'm gonna say it's your body, it's your decision.
Right.
I probably won't do it in the future, or I haven't done it in my past.
Right.
I don't remember doing it in my past.
Right.
But I'm just saying, I'm not gonna be against it. I'm not against it, and
So is it just the Planned Parenthood? Is that all?
I
that
thought
they
it was
do?
just playing your hood.
I
Well,
thought
no.
they were big
It's
birth
actually a really
control,
good
like a
women's
clinic.
program.
Right.
But the thing is, right now, they're being like nickeled and dimed. I just posted about this.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Yes, and actually, Planned Parenthood help a lot of women with respect to
Birth control.
birth controls.
Right.
Not just that, but let's say if they're
Okay.
for example, I've talked to a lot of women who during college times they couldn't afford health care and so forth,
Right.
but they needed that pap smear and so forth.
You're
They
right.
went there.
You're right.
I know for certain a couple of the candidates who I ran with in 2018, one of them in particular, her life was saved because she was able to get the service from Planned Parenthood
Right.
with that
Because
pap
she
smear.
didn't have that medical
Right,
insurance.
didn't have insurance at the time, but because she went to Planned Parenthood and had that pap smear done, and the test came back, and
Right.
there was something
Right.
positive with respect to the
Right.
result, and she was able to get that taken care of.
Exactly.
Had she not had that service provided to her, she wouldn't be alive
so
today.
I like it as far as the government service, because a lot of times we don't healthcare. Let's be honest, is expensive.
It is.
And and
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? I felt like I'm sorry, a lot of people are probably gonna be mad at me, but I felt like with Obamacare, him saying that it's beneficial for you to have medical insurance. At that time, I could barely afford to live. So you want me to take the money that I'm barely making to live and either pay out of this money for health care or pay a tax penalty because I don't have medical
I
insurance.
think that's so stupid.
I felt I felt like I had been abused twice because I felt like that was unfair. Why are you making me do this? What if I don't need these services? Then why am I being penalized?
Taking out a paycheck is
And
like
I
$300
know,
a month. Every
exactly.
paycheck.
And I know people that have actually gone there to have services done. And it's not always about we make jokes about it and say it's just abortion,
Yeah.
But it's not just abortion. You can it's like a clinic. You can actually go there, receive medical attention and services.
Yes.
And it's something, okay, I can afford this. This is not going to kill my pocket.
So I just want to let
It's
you
not
guys
free.
They
know.
also have like gold cards too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not everybody could get applied to it, and even with Obamacare, it's impossible.
It
But I
is.
will just say, so Planned Parenthood endorses Bloomberg after learning he told a pregnant woman to kill it. Sorry, it's just a headline just now. So I just was like, oh my God, we're on the topic. Just let you guys know.
Kill it?
Kill it.
Was it
Did
his
she
So
do
baby?
Planned
it?
Parenthood is
Was
like
it his baby?
uh,
Well, I mean, why?
it
did
just says pregnant women. Pregnant woman. Actually,
because
M-A-N.
because wasn't last
Is
Like,
there
what
any other
state-
information behind that?
No, it's
statement?
not.
Mm-mm.
what
Just say
isn't there
kill
a
it.
state out
Just
there that's
kill it.
saying that you cannot have an abortion no matter what the circumstance?
Alabama or is it Alabama?
Yeah,
Like I think that's
But I think what the
crazy.
problem is, people are emphasizing abortion on Planned Parenthood just because they offer the service. They don't talk about everything else that they do,
Exactly.
that which is good.
they need
Exactly.
to
Because
be fair.
you know what I mean? It
Exactly.
doesn't.
Right.
It's
It-
kind
It's
of.
only one side of it.
It's the political party's way of, I would say, brainwashing the general population because, as we stated earlier, Planned Parenthood is so much
more than
just
just
the
abortion.
that they
Mhm.
bring up on a
AIDS
regular
and, you know,
basis.
HIVs and
Uh,
things like that.
for-
It's kind of
They
like
give
legacy.
counseling,
yeah.
The little.
counseling through birth or even pre-birth with the contraceptives, and like I said, also
They
Right.
also they do
Counseling.
offer classes.
everything. But you'll never hear that
Never.
in
Yeah.
the press or in
because
the
they
media
because they want to
because
keep
it's
us
some-
ignorant.
It's like the Jerry Springer. What
Or
sells,
distracted.
right?
Right.
You
Right.
want you want
Yeah.
the you want the right. You want the fight to be in there so that there's more tension.
Right.
And unfortunately, that comes at a huge cost
Right.
to the general population,
Right.
for the folks who cannot afford health
Absolutely.
care,
But-
for the younger generation who could use the clinic
Yeah,
services.
those benefits.
But in you know how you have the Republican and the Democrats.
Mhm.
Well, they both have two different things. And literally, if you go and you look up the differences, abortion's on one side and not the other.
Right.
So it's kind of like,
Hmm.
yep.
But I guess we can pretty much assume who's for abortion and who's not in those parties.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wrote a
I
paper
just
about
say it's a
abortion.
woman's body. It's whoever decision. Like
Right.
if they both come together, both parents, because it's not just a woman decision. You might have to go to the man, but like the man might want a baby, and she
What?
don't.
What?
Mm,
I'm
I
just
still think it's
saying.
the woman's
It's
decision.
a woman's decision, but you know,
The man needs to carry the baby then.
That's not possible.
I mean, but I
they
feel
carry
like
the
that's being
sperm.
completely ridiculous.
And I
You
als-
want this child, and I have other plans, and I'm not willing to have this child with you.
Hit him with a fee of inconvenience of.
So I have to carry
So-
this child a term and then turn it over. Like that's you're already taking me outside.
that's
of my comfort
true.
zone.
Because I'm uncomfortable right now. Because it was his decision, not my decision. So you know, but I'm not going to say, hey,
But
I
I
don't want the
also
baby.
think that if
We
like
had a,
you do your protection and you
yeah.
work and it still happens, I still think you have the right to do it.
Because of course that's what sex was for, reproduction. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But we talked about this before. If the man wants to have a child and the woman doesn't, and she does have the child for him, does she have to pay child support?
No,
Yes.
No.
I'm signing over my
think I
parental
asked that
rights.
question, right?
Because you already taken me
Look,
outside
yes,
of my
they
I
gonna
feel
do
like it's
that.
completely ridiculous. You've already taken me outside of my comfort zone. I'm not willing. Okay, yes, we got irresponsible and reckless, but I'm not willing to have this child. I'm already got so much of life going on. Now you want me to bear this child. Then like what? Then what? Then I give birth. I still got to be out of work because I'm open. And so I'm going to
That's
sign
true.
this paper.
I agree.
I don't know.
Look, Rachel, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, okay?
I'm not having it.
Ju-
You can say whatever you want.
Just because you sign away your rights as a
I'm not
parent,
doing it. I'm not doing it.
You cannot sign away the responsibility.
Absolutely. You can have you absolutely can.
you
Men walk away all the time.
Okay.
Men walk away
is the rant.
all the time. So you got me
it.
completely messed up
Ag-
if you feel like, because I've already gone way past what I wanted to do anyway.
So what did I say earlier? What did we agree on? All agree
That's
on?
why you need
This
to go
is
to
a
state,
what?
local, and federal so they can have your back so you won't have to do this.
No, this is
Right?
still a
That's what
very
you said.
male-dominated society.
I'm not
but
doing
yes,
it.
she's
I'm
right.
not.
Go to your state, local, and federal.
what
Make
I'm
sure
saying.
you vote.
Yeah.
So you
March
can elect
3rd.
people who will have your back.
Exactly. So you won't have to do it. I'm not doing it.
So you can
I
go to-
have
go to
you
work,
ever thought
take care of your
about
kids?
have you ever thought about having an abortion? Anybody here?
I thought about it when I was younger. Like when I found out, okay, I had a miscarriage when I was 25, and that's when they were like, you can't have no more kids.
Mm-hmm.
But when I found out I was pregnant, okay, I was a hoe. I didn't know who the baby daddy was.
Thank you. Oh, well, I
So-
wasn't home. I mean,
So,
I didn't know.
You know, it's so
I
crazy.
was like, should I just get an abortion and just keep this a secret for the rest of my life
Yeah.
to death?
And then
God
then
made,
you
I'm not
ended
going to, it had a miscarriage. So I was like, God was like, well, save your money. I'm just going to take the baby, send it to heaven. Not to be joking like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, then later on, I was like, what happened? That was my Beyonce in the world. She was going to take care of me as Tina. Then you'll be thinking, like, what happened?
Oh,
That
no,
was
I
my
didn't think about that.
if?
But so when I
feel
when
like-
I,
L,
I
what
got
L?
pregnant, I got pregnant, and I did not want to have this baby. I had a lot going on, and he was there, but he wasn't really available, and I just was like, I'm just gonna have an abortion, okay? And then if we want to do this later, we can revisit it. Once we got our lives going on, I was more so talking to him than me, and then I had a miscarriage. I was doing too much. I was moving around too
That's
much.
how I feel, God.
And my girlfriend was like, I just really wish like you could go like out of town with me. And I'm like, I'm pregnant. And
That's how I feel
don't want to
now.
go. And she was like, I mean. And so when
I was 24,
when I had the we just passed we passed by the
I'm sorry. Go
okay,
ahead.
and then
I thought
so
you
then
were
I
done
had the miscarriage, and I'm like, oh well, now
I
I don't have
to have
to
an
do it.
abortion.
But I really thought about it. I didn't go like as far as finding a place, but my girlfriend, I called her. She was like, okay, I know a place. And we can go there. We can set an appointment. And then that day, so let me tell you, just give you the breakdown of what's gonna happen. I'm like, okay. So I felt like she knew everything. I didn't really need to know everything, but I just wasn't
stressing.
ready. And it's crazy how you feel like you're not ready, but you go through the act every single day, but you're not ready.
So you
Like, isn't that
practice it.
insane?
I had my
Ready.
first at 30. I don't think I was ready.
Still
Still, I'm sick. I'm supposed to be 32, and I don't think I'm ready for this
33.
one.
Wow.
And it'd be like,
I had my first one at 27.
Can I just say,
What-
I don't think I like the word hoe. I think
what's another
we're
word?
Gently
human.
used.
Promiscuous.
No. I just think
Slut.
we're human, and if that's you live your life and you do, I just think it's just another label that people put on one another. But it doesn't. I don't like it.
Certified
I think it's
pre-owned.
just.
I was just about to say that pre-owned. I was pre-owned.
No, I don't know. I think everybody just moves through life, and you know what I mean.
They pick
'Cause
up
I
the
think
label
even your
besides
own.
saying-
just
No,
to
'cause
re-
even
I
your
think
own
people
idols.
do it just to relate to or have a conversation so somebody can relate to what
Yeah,
you're talking
right.
because
about.
I think even your idols. I mean, I'm pretty sure they got around, but
Oh, they
it's
still
not.
getting around.
It's not
They're not calling them
broadcasted.
that.
You know
Right,
what I
right,
mean?
right,
So
right.
I don't know. I don't.
So
I don't think
certified
I-
pre-owned, gently used.
My dad
You
got
said
around
what?
a lot. I think I have about between 15 to 20 siblings.
Yeah, I got
I don't
10.
know many of them. But
With
what-
that situation, we call them Rolling Stone. Daddy
Yeah.
was a Rolling Stone.
yeah,
But why
Papa.
is it fair for a man to be like that and not a woman?
Again,
we don't leave our
male
kids
dominated
behind.
It's everything is okay for a man to do, but not for a woman to do, even to
But then again, you have
to manage.
who's doing it? Megan Thee Stallion.
What's she doing?
Isn't she rolling around and?
Oh
Or
yeah,
no,
she's
look
a-
at they say
Taylor
Lori
Swift?
Harvey.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
What about Taylor Swift?
Who's
She
Lori Harvey?
talked
Who's
about
she?
her men friends
Taylor
a lot.
Swift.
Yeah.
They used to say, let me tell you what they said.
Lori
They
Harvey, you
said
don't know who
Rihanna
Lori
was
Harvey
a
You don't know?
bigger
Yes,
hoe.
that's cable.
Oh, okay, not
That's
hoe.
cable.
We're not using.
That's
Okay,
that's
bigger entertainer.
I didn't find
Then
it on cable. Sorry.
Okay, cable talk is when there's a subject that we are a video or movie or something that we've seen, and Rachel doesn't know about it. She doesn't have cable,
I have an
so everything
antenna.
is antenna to her. So if we're talking about
I have
something, did you
multiple
see
channels,
this? Did
though.
you see that?
I
Did
have
you hear
3
that?
channel 13s.
We
so
say cable
whatever.
talk if she doesn't know what's
Girl,
going on.
channel
I
was-
have 7.
I didn't
channel
know what
8s, so
happened
I have more
about
than
the
you.
boiling the water until I went to work, and then
Or-
I mean, either.
I went to a restaurant.
I haven't
They
owned
were
a
like, we bought
television
them
in
water.
7
I'm like,
years.
what?
So
I
that's
saw it on
awesome.
Facebook. Somebody had a post where
I saw it on the news this morning at work, and I literally thought that was another city. I did not think that was here in Texas. I'm not, and I was like, why are they standing on their cars? Like it's
Let me-
not
I was
hurricane.
like-
that's why I take.
That's why I said
I
it
know
yeah,
rained
you-
flooding when
I
there's
don't know
it's
about
not
that.
It
even
was on the
raining.
east side.
I was like, they didn't rain? Because why it's so flooded like that?
Yes, I
Every
didn't
car
realize
was
it.
underwater. I'm like,
I
ew.
need to be more.
I think
present as
somebody
far
was
as
doing
what's going
construction
on.
somewhere elsewhere where they're building the bridge, maybe, and they did something.
They made a mistake.
They made a mistake, and
Uh-oh.
now
Maybe
look at
it
us.
was a city, state, or local. No,
But go
Clear
vote.
they clear their pipeline out because they're full of it. So they need to clear it out.
Shit.
Right?
They trying
Well,
to
they
stop
were
people
saying
getting their income
hopefully they
tax.
weren't old pipes, because if you do, you have to redo the whole thing.
Mm.
If it was older pipes, like how they were made,
It's the east side.
Like
I
the
don't think they-
galvanized pipes or
Probably.
whatever.
because you got to get engineers, you got to get the, still a lot. I forgot what pipes they're called.
Just think about it. I'm just thinking about it like somebody just pulled up in their new car from income tax and like, okay, I'm gonna sit right here in this parking lot.
Somebody got their income taxes already?
I'm just saying, and they go
yeah.
outside and their car is like underwater.
The
Due to
This
the-
is what happens when you do your own. It takes some
The
time.
hookup.
Whatever.
Anybody got an income tax hookup?
What do you mean?
I
Like
do.
you want to borrow
I don't know
a
what
kid?
that means. I don't think it's
You
crazy.
remember
I think
before the laws changed, people were like selling their kids. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I remember that.
People still
I
sell their
think
kids.
you can't
you
do
start
that. You
learning.
You have to have birth certificates. And you
I
have to
mean,
do them.
no, for real. They were like, hey,
I
can
don't
you
know
say that's
all
the
about
aunt?
that, but
Can you say you the aunt and I'll sign a paper and you just give me, because like my brother got
Yeah, you got
10 kids. You only could carry 3.
You
Okay.
need to stop.
So I'm just saying, like,
He want a big family.
especially
Take care of all of them.
I think you
Just
start
know
learning
you're not
about
gonna
the
be able
rules
to get off.
and like the IRS, because I was recently dealing with the IRS, whatever. But
How do you do taxes?
huh?
No,
No.
because-
What I'm saying is like you start learning, and then it's cool to educate yourself in different areas. So you start learning a little bit of the tax laws and things like that. But I don't.
saying
I
because
honestly
you're an
don't think it's.
artist, like,
Yeah.
Do you have like?
I
is
have
there a
my
social
company.
security
No, I have-
number on each painting, so you're like, and then I sold that one for that, and then that one for that.
got
So
your receipts.
really, I just made $300,480. That's not a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just me by myself.
Lord
Is
Jesus.
it harder for you to do taxes because?
Well, no, you have my company, and then you have your regular W-2. So then you just. I
just
guess when you start working
combine
for it,
the
you
both.
start. You write things off, but you learn and you get with the right people. You know what I mean? And they teach you things.
So that's a question about the tax hookup. Like, how much can you write off and get away with?
But that's the thing. I don't think from what I learned, you're really not supposed to get that much what you think. You're supposed to be even. People think if you're getting too much, something's wrong. You hope you don't get flagged. Like I think there's
Like,
a
what's
time.
too much?
No, I think there's a time and a place where it's like,
Like
okay,
30,000.
let's not be scamish. Because what happens with your freedom and you do something stupid and then now
People
look at you, you're in a
my
bigger hole.
community, they don't think about that. They just like, you're gonna give me $1,500 per child, so you can have this one, and that was born yesterday, so that won't count. They don't think about that. I literally know people who literally sold their children. They did not work the entire year, but they were like, here you go, I have 7 for sale. No, I'm doing those. I'm following those. I mean, it's true.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. I mean, shoot.
But I
You
think
have
you
Rodney?
learn.
Yeah.
You
Just
have to
saying.
learn.
I need a
After
tax
a,
Wait,
a
who's
certain
Rodney?
point,
I
Rodney?
know who is Rodney.
you know Rodney.
You
know Rodney.
Oh,
Rodney
Pookie.
the Young?
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it.
like
I
a
get what she's
Pookie.
saying.
You know, Pookie will hook you up.
It's like
Anybody with
expect-
those names is not
It's
touching.
like
You're
Willis.
not knowing my social security number.
It's like
No,
Willis.
pass.
No, I know someone
It's like
who did
Willis.
my tax. I only paid him $65. I get all my money back.
what?
So,
I wouldn't trust.
I don't know.
That.
I
That
just
was too
kinda-
low of a cost.
No.
I mean, she got
I
a
don't
lot of
know.
clients, I guess, and
No.
and I get all my money. It's
I
like the
feel like
fifth
you
year
should
she
just
doing
always
it.
be careful. It's kind of like you don't have everybody in your car because you just
You
gotta.
don't trust everybody.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
want you there. You can't ride with me.
Shout out to 360 Tax Services, Grayland, Houston.
They will hook you up.
Did
They
you do your
definitely will
taxes?
hook you up.
Did you do your taxes?
I haven't done anything yet.
Oh, so you want them late boomers?
I'm a-
Okay.
I'm a-
Exactly.
She want
April
them.
model.
What is today?
She
No,
want her
I
money
still
in
have
the
this. I'm
summertime.
actually doing my taxes tomorrow. This time around, I'm having somebody help me because it's getting more difficult for me.
Exactly.
And
You
now
have
I'm
to
like,
balance so
okay,
much.
well, let's. And
Yeah, I
then you
need to learn
learn,
how
and
to
then
do
you
all that.
you have people, and yeah.
Especially if I want to start my own business.
Exactly.
Because you
Especially when you
learn.
start
Like,
your
don't
own
get
business. You
involved.
like, how do I
Yeah.
file
Absolutely.
taxes? I know you lose the first year or something like that. You
Right.
said,
Right.
Like
it
I filed.
also
I filed
depends on
mine
how much you
before.
make, though. If you make under a certain amount.
But then
get something
again,
back.
I had to owe the IRS last year.
So that's
I
what
had to
happens when you
pay
make
1
money.
year or a couple
No,
years.
I
My
mean,
brother pay
I'm not
every year.
even.
He have his own
what,
company.
What? Leslie?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
I'm only here so I don't get
Yeah.
fined.
Exactly. You're gonna get flagged if you lie.
So anybody else got a hookup? Nobody got a hookup?
Anybody got,
$65?
anybody got hook up on bundles?
What are bundles?
No.
Oh,
Bundles.
Are you talking about like
Bundles of joy.
She's talking about hair.
Babies.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like internet.
just
phone
say.
service.
She mixed it up.
Okay, sure. If you tell me
Comcast.
weave,
Oh.
if you say weave, then I know what you're talking about. But you said bundles.
Exactly.
Is that like a new thing?
Oh, I'm
No, that's
sorry.
an expensive kind, girl.
Yeah,
No, I pay
I'm
99 cents per bag.
That's really?
Them braiding hair.
Synthetic.
I thought they were the same thing.
What?
Bundles and weave.
No, it's different.
What?
Bundles
Yeah,
is
because
real hair.
they're like this.
And
What is
But
weave?
it is
Weave
weave.
is like
It's still
track,
weave,
but it's not the good. It's not coming from
It's still
somebody.
It's a
extensions.
different kind of weave.
Right.
We
It's
might.
extensions.
Y'all might do a show on that. Of
We don't- I don't do
Probably
weave.
not. We're probably not. She don't do weave.
I don't do weave.
This is the most. I'm
See, I
probably
tried to do it natural, and natural
what
didn't
is that,
try
Rachel?
me.
gonna weave. No, this is these are braids. Okay, I'm not gonna show the back. 'cause I'm
I
not
was
bad.
gonna get my hair braided.
Oh, you've had your hair braided before. It was
Mhm.
so pretty.
Yeah.
You got good hair.
Okay.
So.
Well,
So I'm gonna ask the question: sex on liquor or sex in love, which is better?
sex
Beep,
and
beep,
liquor.
beep,
Wait, I'm sorry.
Sex on liquor or sex in love, which is better?
Sex in love.
If you're in
Sex
love with the
on
person,
liquor or sex in love. Like if you're in love.
Can I
or
say
is he
both?
being liquored up. No, it's one or the
Liquor.
Liquor.
other. Liquor.
I think you're more.
Loose.
Is this you asking a question?
I didn't want to say it.
No, that's not
You
true.
blame it on the liquor all the
That's not true.
time.
No,
No,
I don't have to drink. Mm-mm.
no, because what's your
I don't
disclaimer,
know.
Rachel? Give your disclaimer.
What's my disclaimer?
Wherever you are,
I can get there naturally.
I can get there naturally. Naturally, I'm here.
Yeah, naturally.
You got to get your liquor. You can.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I'm there. I'm there. Where you want to go? You want to kiss tonight? Okay, go ahead. We in love. Oh, you liquored up? Okay. You like it, babe?
It's like whatever.
Don't take my hat off. I'm not done.
Don't pull mine. It's gonna be in your hand.
What do y'all think about? Wait, are we
Sorry,
out
I
of
just
time?
got what
How
she
much
said.
time do we have? 2 minutes. Okay, so what do y'all think about this 6-year-old that was arrested in Florida?
What?
Oh my God, y'all need to.
No, I'm joking. I saw it today.
Oh my God, did you?
That's
Okay.
cable talk.
I didn't
actually
see
didn't
it.
see it.
I didn't
heard
see
I
it.
heard about it on the radio.
Was it here at school or something like that, or was
The
it?
child,
I
I
have no-
believe so. I don't know.
Hold on, let me. What happened?
Florida.
Was he at school?
In Florida, a little girl was arrested for throwing a temper tantrum.
Mhm.
Got handcuffed. The cop came to the school, handcuffed the little girl, and she was just screaming that she was sorry and all this kind of stuff. And he arrested her, fingerprinted her, and took her to jail. A
What do y'all think about that?
6-year-old girl.
Oh, I see it
So what do you think
now.
about that?
Lesson
Wait,
learned.
define tantrum. Like, what was she doing?
Throwing things? No.
She was just.
Yeah.
What was she doing?
Throwing a temper.
She's throwing stuff
Screaming,
and.
yelling.
She was on the floor.
I think they did too much. I don't think she should have.
Because she was 6.
I'm not
She's
even
a
looking
little
at the
girl.
I mean,
age.
I'm
I
a-
just think that because you're still
She
in
was
elementary school,
Yeah.
I feel like if she was threatening someone and like stab someone,
I
then
think she
maybe.
did threaten someone. And she
But I
did
think-
assault
I think-
someone. I think she hit someone in the midst of a tantrum.
But I think if teachers are police now.
no, they
Well, you know what
call
I
the
mean.
cops.
Like now it's like, oh wow, you can't hit a
you
teacher.
assaulted me.
Yeah, no, but I think if she didn't physically make someone bleed and like really did damage, I think that's unnecessary.
Oh
I
man,
think they need to
'cause
bring
my
back
daughter does
whoopings.
that sometimes. So is that warranted for an arrest?
But then again,
Is it just
I don't.
scaring her?
No. I'm gonna say this as honest as I can.
Oh no,
But
you,
if-
you can't say anything that's gonna hurt my feelings. Go ahead, say it. Talk into the mic.
She's got the wall. It's okay.
If
The wall's
she's doing that to you, then where
Oh,
is your?
girl, she ain't
Oh,
doing
she
that to
doesn't
me.
do that.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I
what?
said at the
Night
school.
and day.
At the school.
Night and day.
Well, have you
School,
put
home,
enough fear
different
in her?
lives.
What?
Have you put enough fear in
Who's
her?
watching this? What do you mean?
like fear. Like, you
Well,
know, like
it's
my
not
mom can only
enough-
give
it's
me
not a-
one look.
It's not enough that works at school. She knows I'm at work and she's at school. At school, she feels like she's free to do absolutely
Then you have to put
anything
some
that she
fear in
wants.
her to be like, you have like
That's what I told
the
the
discipline has
That's-
to be a little bit.
That's what I told the schools. I said you can't handle her very soft touch. You have to handle her very aggressively. Not to the point to where you're like jerking her, but like, Riley, no, that's enough. Like to be that. Oh damn it.
Then you know what? Then
That's okay.
But then if it's like that, then I don't know how schools are set up now. Then she needs to go sit like they used to have like detention school or kids that were
In-school
misbehaved,
suspension
and
or-
she'll
Oh,
stay
yeah.
with
Oh, but
just
she's
with
in
them.
elementary. I don't think they have.
No, I
that in
think they
elementary.
do. They do.
They should. I mean, I don't know about
She'll
Florida,
literally
but
run and go like find people that like are like, hey, she's like, I want to go see Miss Such and Such, and I'm like, why did you let her out of the class? You can't do that. You guys are giving her way too much freedom. You have to be like, no, Riley, sit. Oh my God.
So
Becky.
So was the 6-year-old? Well, my take on that, I think that was just too much force, unnecessary.
I think
So
the
for a
Okay, I
small
got a
child,
question.
and you have adults that are standing around watching, and nobody was able
To calm her down? Right.
I think
that-
that's
There's
unnecessary.
I have a
times
question.
where people have to come from the
Somebody-
So
outside.
what's
grabbed her and
what's the
hugged her
difference
and
between
loved
okay?
on her, and that none of that was tried. So they had to go in with full force.
What's the difference or what?
Okay, like they took her to jail, they did all that. And what about the parent that came to school and whooped her child in front of everybody?
My mom did that.
Did they arrest
I
that
would do
parent?
that.
I think
I have
that
plans
I
on
think
doing that.
CPS
You got
in the
plans.
near
no,
future.
no. But I think CPS got involved. Like, remember
Yeah.
because they recorded that,
Yes.
and so they said she was going overboard.
Mhm.
You already have your child up here. He does not have a haircut. His pants are way up here.
Pink
So
socks.
basically, he's already embarrassed enough. But then you come up there and completely humiliate him just because he was misbehaving in class.
Mm-hmm.
So they said she took it overboard. CPS did get involved, and I think
How did
they
she go
did take it.
overboard?
She
Because
was
she
whooping
came up
him
there
and
she
hit
was
him in the
doing all
face
like this. She
Oh,
was
hit him in
pushing
the
him in his
face?
face. She was doing
Yeah.
all of that.
and
I
jerked
thought
at
she
him
was
like,
just-
you know, you want to fight.
No.
You want to
Yeah.
fight. It was just how she was like, you want to.
You know, it's crazy because growing up, I got
It made me
beat.
wonder. That's okay versus.
You
going
know
to
what I
jail?
mean? But mine was, I don't know, but I got beat growing
I
up.
did too.
But it was
I did
in
too.
private. But if
We
she
had whoop
did,
parties.
Knock in the back.
no, she would like, get you under your armpit and be like, and then, but my mom just gave me one look. So that's what I was
My
saying.
dad could breathe a certain way, and I'm like, dang, I know I'm in trouble. But like he did not play no games.
I think
But the thing is, you have to understand our society has evolved to a point where when parents discipline using reasonable force to discipline children, like sometimes that's even questioned. So it kind
Yeah.
of makes it difficult for some of these parents to discipline children. And then they say, okay, fine. Then it becomes the educator's job. But then
No, it's-
realistically, the educator's job is to educate children, not to discipline these children.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's where the problem
Mhm.
lies within our society, how the time has evolved and how we as a society put labels on what the teachers should do and what the parents don't have to do nowadays.
mhm.
Right.
Because one, if you discipline your children, CPS gets involved.
And the
When you
kids
don't,
know
then it's
that.
like, and it goes back and forth. Like,
So
oh,
what
the
was she
parents are not-
arrested on again?
Throwing a tantrum.
Like, but in
Because they
layman's
said she
terms.
assaulted a
So for assault, is it for
For throwing a
assault?
tantrum, that's it. For just throwing a tantrum.
Just throwing
Right, so there was no
That doesn't-
physical harm to anyone.
No,
There was
they
no
said she-
imminent harm
They said
or
she
danger
hit
to.
a teacher
Man.
in the
On
process.
ground kicking, and
And
the
she kicked
kid, and the teacher went up there and she kicked away. And,
Of course she's gonna
So
kick
it wasn't.
away.
It wasn't
go
like
up
she
and
was.
kick somebody.
But
She
it touched her. So
You know what? The teachers must have made it sound really, really bad.
Right.
So how much is her bail?
They let her.
I think it was-
Came and they just let
I
her
think it
go.
was just a fear.
So it was
in her
a
heart.
teaching
But they
moment.
still
So
fingerprinted this
That's why I got
girl.
feel. It was just a
Threw her in
teacher.
So we're practicing.
Like,
prison.
school to prison pipeline.
Why has nobody ever called?
What's that show? Straight. Yeah, Scare Straight.
Sometimes I feel like that's just a tactic. The kids know there is on cameras. It does scare some of them, but a lot of them just get out and go continue to do what they've been doing.
It used to
but
scare me
maybe
just going through
well,
the hood.
it's like one of those like I'm not gonna put my emotions in it. Maybe that is gonna help her behave.
No, I was thinking.
You know what I mean? Just kind
That-
of
that
like
don't
you
help
think
my
of the
child.
things of the two sides, and you just
Maybe
sometimes
it
they
could've
have to hit.
traumatized her. She could have learned a lesson, but you just don't know yet.
Or
Yeah.
just practice.
It's
for
too soon.
later.
Or
Yeah.
or that's her way of crying out for help of something.
So she's lacking something at home.
Probably lacking
It
something,
could be
as Leslie
emotional.
was saying, emotionally lacking something.
And we don't know
And
if this was her first
under
time or
circumstances,
10th
maybe
time.
the
Yeah,
the
Mhm.
teacher
Might
could
be
not
tired.
could not handle, because if the teacher has never witnessed something like this,
Mm.
and sure enough, the teacher is going over there to try to control the child, and
Right.
the child, in the midst of throwing the tantrum, not purposely doing, but when that child is already feeling like, I'm not getting help,
Right.
I'm screaming for help,
The child is
and you guys are
overwhelmed.
not listening to me,
And the teachers are
doesn't
overwhelmed.
realize what she's doing, and in the midst of the whole thing, hits
That
'Cause
happens
each
to my
child-
child a lot, and I've gone to visit the schools. My child is not the only one that's happening to. I went to the school, and I'm like, some of this behavior is learned. There are multiple kids in the room. I could see how a teacher or administrator can be overwhelmed. I love my kids because they're my kids, but I know I'm not a kid person. So could I be a teacher? Could I be an administrator? Absolutely not. But I can see how a teacher and the assistant is overwhelmed because you have multiple kids, and then you still have to have structure with these other kids. I still have to keep the ones that are focused and eyes on me. They're absolutely everywhere. So that could be a cry for help for the child. And I know, my children do this.
Yeah.
They throw fits, and they're like, and I'm like, unless you say something, I'm not gonna ask. Like before, I would go because I saw the aggression and the their anger and the frustration. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? But if you can't just say, excuse me, mom, I haven't had a good day. Can I just talk to you? Absolutely. Then that keeps my anxiety down as well,
Right.
because now it's not back and forth. But if you're just, and sometimes I'm just like, well, you're going to keep doing that until you say,
So there's
I
a
talk to you?
there's a communication barrier
It
going
is.
on,
Well,
and
and
each
I-
kid
and I-
reacts
and I'm not
different.
going to lie, today
Yeah.
I got completely frustrated because my child is dealing with these emotions. I don't know how to help her. So I got overwhelmed and absolutely frustrated because
Yeah.
I don't know how to help her.
I think
it's-
maybe she's just like every kid. You're lacking something.
Look,
I
one
know
of the
what it
things.
is.
What is it, Nikita? What do you
I
think?
think it's the daddy issue.
Oh, no, it had nothing at all to do with the father.
We don't know
That you might know
No,
of.
no, no. For me, it had nothing at all it didn't have anything at all to do with anybody else. My frustration came from me not being able
Oh,
to
I'm
communicate.
No, I'm talking about
Like
your
her.
daughter. Your daughter.
Her, yeah. That she
No.
Okay,
y'all,
all right.
y'all missing it.
Okay.
So
All right, well, we gonna end this show tonight. We got some BTS's. I guess you can hear more of the story from Rachel. But I want to thank our guests.
Yep.
Thank you, ladies, for coming to
You're
Talking Pink.
welcome.
Exactly. Sorry.
You.
Kathy
You're
Cheng.
welcome.
Sorry. Beep, 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 beep.
Chanel,
beep.
Vivid Vibe,
Hey.
Miss Pretty Lady Leslie. Thank y'all for coming to spend time with us this evening. Don't forget to vote March 3rd, the day before my daughter's birthday.
Super Tuesday.
Cheng for change. Kathy Cheng. Cheng for change. Kathy Cheng. Cheng for change. Cheng for change. Cheng for change.
Cheng for change.
Hey, remember
And-
you can find us. Oh, okay. Anybody?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram, lovely Chanel _ I mean, lovely _ Chanel. Yeah, on Instagram, and lovely Chanel on Facebook.
She was
Instagram. Sorry. MZ and then Pretty Lady. Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. ChengForJustice.com. ChengForJustice.com.
And you can find us at TALKinPINk.com. Look for us on all the social sites. We're Talking Pink on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And go to our website. Well, we got a lot of fly gear. Oh,
Merchandise.
let me show you my gear.
Hurry up.
Where's my gear?
Hurry up.
Oh.
She got a bag.
I got the bag. I got that bag. This and a lot of other items that you can find on our website. So we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye Pink.